56-degree evening in Los Angeles. Capacity crowd better than 19,000 have made their way into Staples Center for the second game of our TNT doubleheader, the first meeting of the season between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Los Angeles Lakers, the first head-to-head of superstars, Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, two guys who have been on a tear. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Steve Kerr and Cheryl Miller. And this is a matchup of two teams who come off what they feel are bad losses. The Lakers losing in Portland last night to a team that had dropped 6 in a row. The Cavaliers losing at home this past Tuesday night to the Knicks. And a look at the starting lineup brought to you by McDonald for Cleveland. On the left, Damon Jones, Eric Snow in the backcourt. Damon Jones has been struggling since being inserted into the starting lineup in the absence of the injured Larry Hughes. Adrunas Ilgauskas, the center. The red-hot LeBron James up front with Drew Gooden. And for the Lakers, Kobe Bryant, who has scored 40 or more in 5 consecutive games. He and Smush Parker at the guards, the center, Chris Mim. Kwame Brown worked his way into the starting lineup, and he's up front with Lamar Odom. The officiating crew, Steve, looking very serious. The lead official, Bennett Salvatore, flanked by Sean Corbin and Violet Palmer.
Oh, we got an unbelievable matchup tonight, Marv. You already talked about it, LeBron and Kobe. And to start out the game, Kobe will cover LeBron. At the other end, however, Cleveland's going to start Eric Snow on Kobe. Thanks a lot for that one, Coach Brown. I appreciate it. If you're Eric, I mean, there's no tougher job in the league. But I think Cleveland feels much more comfortable with him on Kobe. Remember, Tracy McGrady gave LeBron a lot of trouble last week. I don't know if he's ready for this kind of matchup.
And the Cavs and Lakers have met 4 times since LeBron James entered the league, but he and Kobe have not really had any intensive head-to-head meetings, as Snow is able to flip it high off glass. The reason is Kobe has been injured in all 4 previous games.
Snow starts out on him, but undoubtedly LeBron will take his turns on him, and it's going to be fun to watch these two guys go at it.
Smush Parker looking for Kobe Bryant with Eric Snow all over him. This is Lamar Odom. Picked up on a switch by Gooden. Odom, and the game is tied.
So important for Lamar Odom to get himself involved offensively. He, I think, has a tendency more than any other Laker to submit to Kobe and to not get himself aggressively attacking the rim.
Cavaliers at 20-12. They have won 9 of their last 12 games. Ilgauskas coming off a subpar performance against the Knicks the other night, although he has played very well. He draws the foul. It is on Mim, but Zadrunas only 3 of 9, 8 points. We talked about it earlier with Mike Brown, the head coach of the Cavaliers, said that, well, Z, as he said, was in foul trouble and just could not get into the flow.
Well, I love what they've done to start this game. They've gone into Ilgauskas twice now, and they've got to get him involved, especially with Larry Hughes out of the lineup. Their offense has become so dependent on LeBron James. So they go into Ilgauskas twice in a row. He gets to the foul line. They establish an inside game. Now maybe they get a little balance to their offense.
He's an 85% free throw shooter.
And Marv, these were his first 2 free throws of the night. Obviously, he's only been to the line 10 times in the previous 4 games. So Ilgauskas has to be aggressive, has to get to that line.
We're just underway here in Los Angeles. Bryant, that's a 2-pointer, had a foot on the line. Kobe Bryant with 40 or more in 5 straight. And we're talking about 45, 48, 50, 45. And last night in the loss to Portland, he had 41. All this, or several of these games since returning from the 2-game suspension, as Gooden gets inside. And the Cavaliers lead 6-4.
That was interesting to see the Portland Laker game last night. It was as if he was held to 41 points. You know, Steve Blake had a terrific game for the Blazers. He was interviewed after the game. They said, what'd you do to hold him to 41?
The lob did not work. Kwame Brown in position, but could not convert. For the Cavaliers, this is game 1 of a 6-game road trip in a stretch, playing 8 of 9 on the road. Ilgauskas. And the good box out. Handled by Brown. Phil Jackson very upset with the performance last night as Parker is able to penetrate. He thought the Laker defense was just awful. They gave up 113 points to a team that has averaged only 87 a game, coming in the league's lowest scoring team. LeBron James with that off-balance jumper. Cavaliers 8, Lakers 6.
How about Nate McMillan last night before the game drawing a picture of a heart on the Portland locker room board, questioning the toughness of his team, and boy did they respond.
Oh, nice play. Parker comes up short. Wasn't an early Valentine's Day message for the boys. Here's Damon Jones for 3, and he cannot find the range. Over the past 8 games, only 7 of 36. That's 19% from downtown for Damon Jones.
And Marv, I think at some point he's got to step in. I mean, he had 10 feet between himself and his defender as Lamar Odom loses the ball out of bounds. But I think if you're Damon Jones and you're struggling with your shot, step in and take a 19-footer. I always felt that extra step or two made the shot so much easier. And if you're struggling from beyond that line, try to get a couple of easier ones and get that rhythm back, then step back and shoot the 3.
And Steve Damon says he is officially in a slump.
Yeah, he's never said that before. And the self-proclaimed best shooter in the world, for him to admit any type of weakness.
Here's Odom. Nice move by Odom. Getting to the baseline. One of the 4 games coming into tonight since Larry Hughes went down. Damon Jones with only 12 points. He has shot 4 of 26 from the field overall. Ilgauskas getting position, but way off, rebounded by Brown. Odom with a behind-the-back one-hop pass to Mim.
Got away with it. I don't know if Phil Jackson wants to see that anymore, but he did get away with it, and that's the type of play that Lamar Odom can make. One of the few guys at his size with that type of ball handling ability.
So the Lakers take the lead. Here's Snow trying to put a move on Odom. Shot clock at 5. Gooden. And he has played exceptionally well. Drew Gooden averaging 11 points, 9 rebounds, 53% from the field.
Last 5 games, 14 and 9, shooting 58%. So he has very quietly put together an excellent season.
Odom had it slapped away, recovered by Parker. Mim shot blocked by Ilgauskas, recovered by Brown. He lost it. He thought he was fouled. Back comes LeBron James. Bad shot. And he hears it from the crowd. Did not contact the rim. Gooden is rejected by Mim. And it's a jump ball.
Wow, what a block by Mim. Gooden comes up with a loose ball. He thinks he's got a dunk on the reverse, and Mim just meets him at the rim. And hence the jump ball.
In the first of our TNT doubleheader, the Pistons beating the Spurs 83-68. So Detroit is now 28-5. That's the best record in the NBA. San Antonio 27-9. That's the best record in the West, but 68 points tonight for the Spurs.
After holding the Spurs to 70 on Christmas Day, so Detroit clearly has San Antonio's number. I think their speed on the front line is really bothering San Antonio.
Bryant going at James. Oh, you can see Kobe's eyes lighting up when he realized the man back was LeBron James, and he took it right to him.
He relishes these moments, Marv. I don't know if there's a more competitive player in the NBA. That might be the most similar trait between Kobe and Michael Jordan. Loves moments like these.
Here is Snow. Yes. And the game is tied at 12. We were talking earlier with Phil Jackson about the similarities in the early stages of Michael Jordan's career to that of Kobe Bryant, where Phil had to pull Michael back and felt that Michael was shooting too much, and he wanted more team balance with the Chicago Bulls.
Well, and he got it, but these two guys, no question, are very comparable talent-wise. Amazing skill from Kobe going right at LeBron James.
The NBA on TNT, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Ford, built for the road ahead. By Wendy's, do Wendy's Super Value Menu and do what tastes right. And by T-Mobile, official partner of the NBA.
Back in Los Angeles, Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, and Cheryl Miller, and Ron Artest is in the building. There's sunshine inside.
Yeah, there is a glare.
As the trade rumors continue to swirl, rumors involving Ron. Let's go to Cheryl Miller with tonight's Ford Sideline Report. Cheryl has more on Ron Artest.
Well, thanks a lot, Marv and Steve. Actually, I was told by sources within the Clippers and the Pacers organization that a deal, in fact, was on the table, sending Ron Artest to the Clippers for Corey Maggette. I was told that Ron Artest had some very positive conversations with Mike Dunleavy and, matter of fact, met with him yesterday. I was also told just 2 hours before the game started that the deal, in fact, is off the table only because Indiana's doctors would not medically approve Corey Maggette. Guys?
In effect, Ron Artest is not here to visit Disneyland.
Guess not. He would be a nice fit with the Clippers, though, wouldn't he? But Indiana, I think, is doing the smart thing, Marv. They're going to wait. They're not going to rush into any move until they know they can get something for him. But they're in a tough spot because Artest's value is clearly down.
Broken up nicely by LeBron James. Yes, the Clippers would have a potent starting lineup. Elton Brand, Ron Artest, Chris Kaman up front. You have Coutinho Mobley in the backcourt with Sam Cassell and Sean Livingston off the bench.
And if you're Indiana, you know, Corey Maggette is a guy who's at the top of the NBA in free throw attempts. He's a physical specimen. He's young. He's got most of his career ahead of him. But apparently the health issues are keeping that trade from being consummated.
All right, Luke Walton has come on for Kwame Brown. Coming up on 5 to play in this first quarter. Here's Parker with a runner. Lakers lead 14-12.
I have been so impressed, Marv, with the play of Smush Parker this season. He's very aggressive. He can shoot the ball. He's a good defender. LeBron gets it to go and end the foul.
Foul on Smush Parker, who was playing for the Florida Flame of the D-League last season after being waived by the Pistons a year ago, almost to the day. Also played for the Cleveland Cavaliers, 24 years old. He was just signed to his contract was guaranteed. It was a non-guaranteed contract, so he can count on the rest of that salary at $745,000.
I think with a lot more coming because he has established himself here in Los Angeles.
Oh, Kobe Bryant with a gorgeous spin. Lakers lead by 2. LeBron James beating the Lakers back down court, and the game is tied.
And there's the exchange that you could sense this crowd was waiting for, Marv. Back and forth, Kobe and LeBron.
There's Bryant off the fake on Noble, and a foul, or a defensive 3. Let's see, Bennett Salvatore with the call, and it is a foul.
Well, Mark, take a look at Kobe going back to the left hand. Right here, he feels that LeBron might get the block, so he scoops it in up and under as he gets past Ira Newble on the spin. Kobe has the ability to finish with either hand at the rim. Uses that English awfully well, too.
Foul is on Newble, who has worked his way back after missing 21 games with a strained right foot. Just under 8 o'clock here in the West with Staples in L.A. Kobe Bryant rejected by Drew Gooden. Here comes Snow. Sets it up for James, and James is called for a traveling violation. LeBron 3 of 6 here at the start. He has 6 points. Kobe 3 of 5. 6 points.
I feel like I'm watching the Kentucky Derby. I mean, the two thoroughbreds just running up and down the floor.
Mim gets inside, yes, and the foul. Chris Mim, a one-time Cavalier, spent 4 years with Cleveland. He is fouled by Ira Newble.
Mim has been a pretty solid player for this Laker club, Marv. I know they want more consistency out of him, but look at the numbers. 51% shooting, 10 points, and he's very active. He needs to work on avoiding foul trouble. He has a tendency to get himself in positions where he picks up cheap ones. But between Mim and Kwame Brown, the Lakers have a lot of activity, a lot of athleticism. They're just trying to get both players to be a little more refined with their offensive games.
Lakers up by 3. Good. Mim with the rebound. Been an up and down period for the Lakers. They lost 5 straight, 3 of those 5 though on the road. Then they win 3 in a row, 3 solid wins. Here's Walt getting inside, and he's blocked. Foul is called on the Cavaliers. The 3 straight wins over the Sixers, the Clippers, and the Pacers, and they lose at Portland last night. A Portland team, you mentioned the tactic used by Nate McMillan prior to the game last night, but day before he actually said something you rarely hear. He said, hey, we quit in the previous game.
Yeah, he called them out, and they responded yesterday. They had way more energy than the Lakers did. They just took it right at Kobe Bryant. And the play of Steve Blake and Juan Dixon reminded everybody of their days at Maryland together. Very impressive game for those two.
And Phil Jackson upset with the loss to a team that had dropped 6 in a row. Nate McMillan's statement regarding quitting was a reaction to the loss to Miami this past Sunday.
And I think for the Lakers, you mentioned the inconsistency. The 2 games that they missed when Kobe was out for the suspension for elbowing Mike Miller, I thought that was a big moment for the Lakers. It really sort of disrupted what rhythm they had built, what momentum they had built the previous couple of weeks.
James off on that 3-point attempt. Here's Parker running the break. Beautiful pass from Odom. Setting it up to Parker, was able to finish, and the Cavaliers want to talk it over. Standing ovation from this crowd here in L.A. 7-0 run for the Lakers, and they lead by 7.
Smush Parker can not only hit that 3, but he can run the lane. He's athletic, he's quick, fills the lane, gets the layup. Welcome back to Los Angeles. Lakers by 7, thanks in large part to the play of Lamar Odom. Showing you the full package, the runner, and then in the fast break situation, little floater along the baseline. Got 4 points and 4 assists. Here's one of them, the around the back feed to Chris Mim. And here's his Magic Johnson impersonation, leading the fast break for the Lakers and feeding Smush Parker. He is so gifted, Marv. You forget sometimes that he's about 6'10", long arms, got the ball handling ability, he's got a nice touch, and I think for Lamar it's a question of putting it all together and getting more aggressive. Very difficult, I think, for him to play next to Kobe. He's used to having the ball in his hands, and Kobe dominates this offense, and Odom frequently gets lost out there.
Had his best year 2 seasons back. Remember the Miami Heat, obviously a different type of offense. Bryant knocked it away from James. Off the steal, Lakers back in possession. Mim rebounded by Danielle Marshall, who has come on for the first time. So Snow working the point. Here's Good. Nice fake around Mim to the reverse. Drew Gooden with a beautiful play. Lakers now lead 23-18.
That was impressive, Marv. That was something we would expect out of Kobe or LeBron.
Lakers having difficulty locating a shot. Now a 6 on the 24. Parker. And the ball back to the Cavs.
Well, how about Drew Gooden? We know he's got quickness along that baseline. And take a look here. He looks like he's in trouble right here because of the help from Odom, but he just spins it off the glass, up and under.
6 points, 5 rebounds for Gooden. James penetrates. LeBron James with that hop skip move straight down the lane. It's a 3-point Laker lead.
That drives you nuts as a coaching staff. I look over and see Kurt Rambis just upset. His defense giving up that wide open look.
Oh, James on the stuff as Snow took it away from Bryant.
As soon as Cleveland's in the open court situation, Marv, you can hear about 19,000 people just anticipating what's going to happen next. And LeBron, man, is he impressive in that fast break.
LeBron 5 of 9. He has 10 points. Good job by Newble. Made Bryant give it up. And Odom is fouled. Foul on LeBron James.
Well, Eric Snow makes the play, Marv. He gets his hands in defensively right here on Kobe as he tries to drive around Newble. Just picks him clean and then feeds the right guy. This guy on the corner is so fast. All you have to do is get him the ball. That's 2 points.
Mike Wilkes checking in for the first time for the Cavaliers, and Sasha Vujacic, 21-year-old, second-year man from Slovenia, has come on for the Lakers. LeBron James has so much respect for Kobe Bryant and is incredibly candid when he says the things that Kobe can do are unbelievable. Kept alive by Kwame Brown, who just came back in. He said, I don't think I have an instinct. Lamar Odom. Well, LeBron says, I don't think I have an instinct like Kobe where I want to kill everybody.
I think he meant it as a compliment. I'm fairly sure of that. But you're right, Marv. You don't hear very often a superstar player admitting that maybe he doesn't have that same killer instinct as another guy out there. So maybe that's what we like about LeBron. He opens himself up a little bit more than Kobe does. You know, Kobe's very closed off, but LeBron is a guy who's not afraid to tell it like it is.
Final minute of this first quarter. James guarded by Bryant. Spins his way to the fadeaway. And it carried out of bounds, and the ball back to the Lakers.
I think LeBron has to be careful tonight not to get caught up in this matchup. That's a very, very difficult shot against Kobe. He's so good passing the ball. He can move and get his offense into a flow. He doesn't have to take that shot.
Bryant misfires, rebounded by Marshall. 6-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. Lakers up by 3 once again. Bryant defending on James. Ilgauskas creeping over to set a screen. Here's Marshall for 3. Donyell Marshall from deep in the corner. He had very little room to squeeze that one off. Final seconds of the first. Game tied at 25. Bryant played well by Newble. Shoots over him and scores at the buzzer. A 3 for Bryant. They'll review it. But there's no question he got it off on time. Ira Newble was in his face.
I don't know, Marv, if there's another player in the NBA who can make this shot. Newble plays him perfectly, doesn't go for the pump fake. Kobe's so strong, still manages to get a clean look.
Beautiful 54-degree night here in Los Angeles. We welcome you back. Start of the second quarter. A moment ago, Kobe Bryant hit that buzzer 3. They took a look at the replay, and no question about it, it was good. And Kobe will sit for a couple of minutes. We talked earlier about the fact that Phil Jackson would like to see more balance on the part of Kobe, and his teammates went through a similar scenario when he had a young Michael Jordan in Chicago. This is Vujacic coming up short, rebounded by Marshall, but 4 straight games of 45 or more. Kobe, the first player to pull that off since Wilt Chamberlain in November of 1964. But Phil Jackson says that's not what basketball is about. Ilgauskas gets inside and the foul. Phil says it's about playing as a team and finding a functioning level, as he put it.
Yeah, I think he'd like to see Kobe take fewer shots, but he also understands that this is a growing process for a team that's not used to playing with him and with each other. They're a very young team. They're going through some growing pains, but I think Michael eventually figured it out, and I think Kobe will too. But there's a point where you have to trust your teammates, and there's a point where your teammates have to come through for you. That happened with Michael, and that's the aim for Los Angeles.
3-point play by Ilgauskas has tied the game. This is Parker. Smush Parker on a quick release. Lakers now lead at 30-28. Mike Wilkes now playing the point. Jackson Jackson. Luke Jackson, second-year man from Oregon, got the step. Nice move by Jackson, and the game is tied.
Well, this is a chance for him to play now because Larry Hughes is going to be out for the next 5-6 weeks, and he struggled to this point with his shot. Remember, he had the back injury all of last season. Really is a rookie for all intents and purposes, and has struggled, but he gets the first one to go.
Nice setup pass on the hop from Walton to Brown. So Kwame Brown showing us a post move. Jackson, nowhere to go, gives it back to Wilkes. Ilgauskas up front with Marshall and Jackson. Newble and Snow at the guards. Ilgauskas working on Brown and hits.
Wow. Tough shot. Marv, with LeBron and Kobe each on the bench, this is a chance for the second units of Cleveland and the Lakers to try to develop a little rhythm, chance for other guys to get involved. And I think this is a very important stretch in this game.
Here's Devin George, who just checked in. Devin George battling his way back from injuries, an important man in Phil Jackson's rotation. And later on, we might see Devin George matched up defensively against LeBron James. Wilkes able to keep that dribble alive. Brown wanted a traveling violation. Shot clock down to 5. They double up on Ilgauskas. Newble with the open shot. Ira Newble. Tip missed by Marshall. And last touch by Marshall.
Well, that's the shot the Cavaliers are going to have to hit, especially with LeBron on the bench, Marv, because you know they're going to go into Ilgauskas down low. Lakers show the double team that time, so Cleveland has to prove they can hit the perimeter shots to make LA pay for that double.
Sasha Pavlovich has come on for the Cavs for the first time. Here's Vujacic coming off a screen.
He looks much more comfortable now than he did when we saw him earlier in the season, Marv. I think he's growing comfortable with the NBA game. He's getting more confidence. Sometimes when you just begin to play in the NBA, you're so overwhelmed by everything that even if you're a good shooter like Vujacic, tough to really relax and just play. I think he's starting to do that now.
Marshall rejected by Brown. Kwame Brown with the block. Vujacic met by Jackson. Here's Walton. Nice pass. Once again, the combination of Luke Walton and Kwame Brown. Lakers lead by 6.
What a terrific about 3.5 minute stretch here to start the second quarter with Kobe Bryant on the bench. This Laker team showing something they haven't all year, and that's a nice potent offense without Bryant.
Kwame Brown has had his difficulties, playing well here. 4 points, 7 rebounds, block shot. Walton with the rebound, and Luke Walton continues to ignite the offense with his passing. 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Walton tried to get it down low, and a foul as Ilgauskas made the contact with Brown.
Mark, with Kobe Bryant on the bench, Phil Jackson likes to have Luke Walton on the floor. He's his best facilitator, his best passer, probably understands the triangle better than anybody. And here, the beautiful feed to Kwame Brown.
Better than 19,000 here at Staples as the Lakers lead at 38-32. 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Jack always on hand, along with Leonardo DiCaprio, a regular here at courtside. Chris Rock making the trek from New York City. And quarterback Matt Leinart of Southern California wondering, where will I go in the NFL draft?
Well, I'm wondering how he afforded that ticket. Is SC paying well these days? I mean, those other guys, you know, they're all actors. They make gazillions.
What are we saying here, Steve?
I'm just wondering where he got that front row $1,000 ticket, Marv. That's all.
Nice. There'll be an NCAA investigation underway tomorrow. Be a guest.
All right, so or maybe he, signed with an agent already and got a loan. I don't know.
It's terrible.
Just wondering, Marv. That's all.
Marshall gets it down low for Ilgauskas, and he's fouled. Kwame Brown trying to slap it away.
Great job by Daniel Marshall, recognizing that his teammate Ilgauskas was getting fronted down on that post. And it's always the weak side big man's job, as in that case with Marshall, to flash to that high post area, give his passer an outlet and create a different angle to throw it into the post.
First foul on Kwame Brown, second team foul on the Cavaliers. Pavlovich is stopped. And Violet Palmer says knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Lakers. Sasha Pavlovich, originally a first-round pick of the Utah Jazz, played a year with Utah. This is second season with the Cavaliers from Serbia. Jackson trying to fire it up with the shot clock rolling down and came up with airs for the ball on the 24-second violation. Will go back to the Lakers.
Oh, we talked about Larry Hughes being out. Pavlovich will get his chance at some minutes. Luke Jackson, of course. Mike Wilkes is sliding into the rotation because of that injury. It's amazing how one guy getting hurt, Marv, can change everything. It's the domino effect, and I think it's affected Cleveland. They're averaging 88 points a game without Larry Hughes. They were at about 102 with him.
Walton getting it to Vujicic. Back to Walton. And rebounded by Marshall. Nice save. Larry Hughes will be out 5 to 7 weeks, recovering from surgery, a fracture of the right middle finger. Nice handoff. Pavlovich stepped out of bounds. Cleveland general manager Danny Ferry said that Hughes wanted to play the rest of the season with a broken finger, but the doctor said, no, let's take care of it. And you see, without Larry Hughes, Cavaliers have struggled. They're 2 up, 2 down since Hughes was sidelined.
The big one there, I think, is the free throw attempts, Marv, because Hughes is a guy who penetrates, he attacks, and without him, the Cavaliers have become so dependent on LeBron James, and they're starting to stand around, take a lot of three-point attempts, and they've got a difficult job on hand here trying to last this next month or so without Larry Hughes.
Long-range attempt by Parker. LeBron James is back on the floor. Kobe Bryant and Lamar Odom about to check back in, and James guarded by Vujicic. Here's James going right at him, met by Brown, providing help, and a foul on Kwame Brown.
LeBron James just created that foul. I thought Brown had pretty good position, but James did the smart thing, drove in and created the contact, got the call.
Well, national coverage of the NBA continues this week. Friday on ESPN2, it's the Celtics and the Sixers coverage beginning 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also Friday on ESPN, the Heat and the Sonics starting at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday on NBA TV, Pacers and the Bulls coverage starting at 8:30 Eastern Time.
Barbara, I wonder when the last time Kobe Bryant received a 6-minute rest in any game. I mean, the Lakers had a wonderful stretch there without him, showing a lot of rhythm to their game, some potent offense, and that has been a rarity. He's usually out for maybe 2-3 minutes, but Phil Jackson with the luxury tonight of allowing his reserve unit to just play.
Able to take advantage of the fact that the Lakers are in front right here, up by 4, just under 6 remaining in the first half, and Brian wasting no time.
Boy, he was ice cold on that bench, wasn't he? that didn't bother him much.
Lakers now lead 40-34. Kobe 5 of 8, 11 points. James 5 of 10, he has 12. And Ilgauskas getting inside, putting the move on the combination of Mim and Odom, and the ball was knocked away as a timeout is called. For a moment it appeared a delay of game, but Violet Palmer said no. Timeout called by the Lakers. We're at Staples in LA, second of our TNT doubleheader. Earlier, Detroit knocking off San Antonio once again. Steve, we've talked about it on many an occasion. It's incredible when you consider that LeBron James just turned 21 back on December 30th, and our staff decided to go back into the files and check out pretty fair players and wondered what they were doing at age 21. So Will Chamberlain was a junior at Kansas. Bill Russell, junior year at San Francisco, leading his club to the first of back-to-back titles. Shaquille O'Neal, NBA Rookie of the Year at the age of of 21. Michael Jordan, a junior at North Carolina. Magic led the Lakers to the NBA championship as a rookie. Larry Bird, a junior at Indiana State.
I believe you were in your 7th year as a broadcaster for the Knicks at 21. Were you not? You didn't like that?
I know. I heard laughter in the background. You bring your own laugh track. Odom able to recover that pass. Shot clock to 7. Here's Odom. Yes. So the Lakers now lead it by 6 as we come up on 5 minutes remaining in the half. Ilgauskas on the front line along with Pavlovich and Marshall. Nice pass to LeBron James, Danielle Marshall, and James able to get the timing down, and looks like Kobe Bryant is holding his hand.
Well, we talked early in the game. Remember, he's been hurt the last 2 years in this building when the Lakers have faced Cleveland. Let's hope that one's not bad.
Well, obviously, it did not affect Kobe, who attempted that turnaround spinning shot, and then when he goes back on defense, he's holding
it again. Maybe it was just a ruse, or maybe he was trying to trick LeBron James into thinking he wasn't going to shoot, but we know that's not going to hold him back.
I think it's strictly a defensive injury. Shot clock at 4. Beautiful pass. James on the bounce to Ilgauskas.
Now, if you want to compare these two guys, Marv, I think that's an advantage that James has. He sees the floor a little bit better than Kobe. He tends to find angles that Bryant doesn't.
Beautiful move by Odom. 4 assists for James, and the Lakers lead by 4. Odom 5 for 5 from the field, 10 points, 5 assists. Marshall being played by Odom. Here's Pavlovich for 3. Cavaliers not firing from downtown as they have been in recent games, and a blocking foul on Pavlovich.
Yeah, just 1 of 4 from three-point range for Cleveland tonight. Obviously, Mike Brown has talked to his team about getting the ball inside, and look at this feed from LeBron inside to Zydrunas Ilgauskas. And getting the ball to their big fella was obviously one of the key points for Mike Brown tonight. 11 points already for Ilgauskas.
Now Drew Gooden returns, coming on for Danielle Marshall. Lakers at 18 and 17 on the season, but only 8 up and 8 down here at home. That was intended for Bryant and broken up. Nice play by James. There's LeBron, and he is fouled in the act. Foul on Odom.
Crowd doesn't like it, Marv. They thought he might have traveled, but I can't get over, and I know we talk about this again and again, but the speed of LeBron as he gets out on that wing, and there's almost nothing you can do. Clearly a block by Odom. The question was, did he take 2 steps before that? But once he's out on that wing, forget about it.
Stephen, today's Los Angeles Times, in a feature story on LeBron James, Mark Heisler quotes Clippers coach Mike Dunleavy saying, if LeBron were not born in the United States, I'd say he's 25 or 26 rather than 21. In effect, usually you can document age here in the U.S. as opposed to some who come from other countries or knock a few years off their birth certificate. What a play by Gooden getting inside. LeBron, who looks like he's in his 30s. He just turned 21 about 2 weeks ago.
It's stunning, and he looked almost just like this at 19 when he came into the league, and it's just amazing to look at that physique, because most players, as you see the scramble and a timeout by the Lakers, but you think back to Kobe when he came into this league, Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady, those guys were thin as rails. LeBron looked just like that at 19. Unbelievable.
Smart play by Odom, getting to the basketball and taking the timeout. Laker athletic trainer Gary Vitti asking Kobe about his hand. I don't know if he jammed a finger or...
What'd you call it, a defensive injury? It only affected him on defense?
He's only rubbing it at the defensive end.
Then he came down and fired a 30-footer.
Right.
I think it happened on this baseline flex cut. LeBron James gets rubbed off on the screen by Pavlovich, and he locks hands with Sasha and gets nicked up a little bit.
Kobe started out 5 of 7 from the field since he hurt his hand. He is 0 for 3. Lakers up by 2, just under 3 to play in the first half. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, and Cheryl Miller with Staples in Los Angeles. Nice move by Mim, but he came up short. And the outside official, Sean Corbin, with the call on Ilgauskas. That's 2 on Zydrunas. 13 foul called on the Cavaliers. And another timeout has been called. Lakers 44, Cavaliers 42. Back in a moment. All right, Steve, back to our unofficial survey of what various NBA stars were doing at the age of 21. Well, Kobe Bryant, at the time, at 21, was in his 4th season with the Lakers, first with Phil Jackson, and won the first of 3 NBA championships.
Yeah, he was not nearly as prepared physically as LeBron James was when each entered the league. Kobe was very thin. Remember, he had that rough playoff game against Utah his rookie year where he took 2 or 3 ill-advised long 3-point attempts. And I think the next year was when he came into his own.
Steve, do you recall what were you doing at the age? Well, we actually checked it out. Don't even have to. There's a very youthful-looking Steve Kerr who changed his major at the University of Arizona from creative writing, which was a mistake, to general studies.
The very difficult field of general studies, Marv. I was a student athlete, a true student athlete. I later changed it to basketball, I believe.
And the foul is called on Bryant. Kobe is first. Checking with Ernie Johnson back in our Atlanta studio.
That's a Southwest Airlines game break, Marv, and the T-Mobile halftime report comes your way in just a few minutes. Magic and Kenny and Charles are here to break down the first half. Take a look back at Detroit's dominating win over the San Antonio Spurs. By the way, when I was 21, I was in 10th grade.
Ernie had a lot of time to prepare material, it should be pointed out. LeBron has struggled at the line, out 3 of 6, 3 of 7 at the free throw line. Lakers up by 3, 2.5 remaining in this first half. Bryant played by Snow. Snow got screened. And here's Odom for 3. Rebounded by Cook. Brian Cook had just checked in. Bryant for 3. And his shooting has been off. Last touch by the Lakers.
Well, Marv, we've been talking all night about who did what at 21, and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron, and you start making all these comparisons. And we talked to Phil Jackson earlier. We were trying to figure out how Kobe and Michael were different, and this is kind of what we came up with. Kobe shoots a lot more threes than Michael ever did, and I think that hurts his shooting percentage. He's at about 45% this year as Ilgauskas gets the spinning shot to go. Michael was always a 50% or better shooter. Kobe tends to shoot a lot of bad ones. 3 of 13 last night beyond the arc in Portland.
Here's Parker from downtown, rebounded by Gooden. And Snow pushing it down. Jones pops it back out. And Eric Snow says, no, we'll reset it. He's being guarded now by Odom. James played by Bryant. Shot clock down to 5. Snow fired up a rainbow and it's deflected out. Last touch by Cook.
See, I like what Snow does, and I think Damon Jones could learn a little something from. Snow's not a great shooter, but he's a good percentage shooter. He steps in and takes a 16-footer. He doesn't step behind that line. Jones is a very good three-point shooter and capable of making it, but when you're in a little bit of a rut, you got to just step in, take the easier shot. That's something Snow does quite well.
And we know that Mike Brown, as he told us earlier, would like to see Damon occasionally take it to the rim. Here is Ilgauskas, and he is fouled. Zydrunas back to the line. Let's go to Cheryl Miller. Cheryl?
Well, Marvin, Steve, I spoke to Damon Jones before the game, and he says there's no question the last 8 games have been rough shooting-wise. He said, Cheryl, all shooters go through it. What's been most disappointing is the timing of the slump. Larry Hughes is out, and I feel that I haven't been able to contribute. He said, so a couple of days ago, I decided to take my mom's advice and admit I'm in a slump. She told me, son, part of recovery is admitting you have a problem, and Damon, your shot's a problem. Guys?
Was Damon on the couch at the time?
It's a 12-step program of some sort. A little moral lesson from mom. But I think, Damon Jones is a guy who's a shooter, doesn't get to the line much, doesn't finish at the rim. So these little slumps are much tougher on a guy like him. Believe me, I know I never could get to the line. But you've got to be able to make an easier shot for yourself now and then. And the vast majority of his attempts are from that three-point line.
Shot clock to 7. Bryant slipping one in. Rebounded by Ilgauskas. And a foul. It is on Odom, so Zydrunas Ilgauskas will head to the line with the Lakers over the foul limit. What a quarter for Ilgauskas. 13 of his 15 have come here in the second.
And much needed. He's been non-existent really for this club the last few games, and with Larry Hughes out, you see the foul there by Odom. With Hughes out, this team has to have a major second scoring option besides LeBron, and Ilgauskas has been just that tonight.
Cavaliers have the lead for the first time since early in the game when they're up 8-6. Zydrunas Ilgauskas, the only player on the Cavaliers who was with them when they made it to the playoffs 7 years ago. And following 4 injury-hit seasons, he's played at least 78 games for 3 straight years.
One of the reasons Danny Ferry gave him the big contract extension this past offseason. There were so many concerns about the injuries, but Ilgauskas has proven that he's overcome them, and great to see. And that's 7 free throw attempts now for Ilgauskas here in this game. Remember, he had just 10 the last 4 games combined.
Cavaliers up by 2 points. Gooden with the steal. Pass from Bryant picked off. And LeBron walks it up. Now being played by Odom.
A chance for a quick 2-for-1, but they're not going to go for it. LeBron running that clock down.
Clock to 6. Offensive foul, says Violet Palmer. It is on Ilgauskas.
And that's number 3 for Ilgauskas, and that's critical. If you're Mike Brown, you desperately need this guy on the floor late in games. It's basically the last play of the half, and Ilgauskas gets called for a cheap one in the lane trying to establish position. Not much there, was there? That's a very tough call to take if you're a Cleveland fan.
Lakers get it back. They can hold for a final shot with 21 seconds remaining in the half. Mike Wilkes checks back in for Drew Gooden.
Lakers are going to go with a very small lineup. They're going to spread the floor, give it to Kobe, and put shooters around him. And with no shot blocking at the rim, Kobe's got a chance to attack.
Bryant being played by Snow. We're down at 10 seconds. It's all Kobe. Here's Bryant. Lost it. Snow with the steal. Battling the clock. Here comes LeBron James with a second to go in the half. Parker from backcourt.
Did I just see that, Marv? Did that really just happen? My goodness. Watch this beautiful feed from Snow. Just leaves it for James. And if you're Brian Cook, forget about it.
And you could see Eric Snow say, wow, as he looked over at our table. The Laker coaches were stunned. They just remained on the bench.
I think we all said, wow, everybody in the building.
All right, LeBron James, 7 of 12, 17 points, and he's with Cheryl.
LeBron, so much talk about the head-up competition between you and Kobe, but you were so excited on that last play. Talk about that play.
Man, it was excellent. You know, we shrunk the floor on Kobe Bryant. We knew he was going to try to break down our defense. Easton got a great steal, and we got on a run. That's one thing that we do best.
Offensively, you got to be very pleased, as well as the inside play of Drew and also Z.
Man, they brought their A game today. Hopefully they can carry it into the second half, keep being aggressive, and let's get to the free throw line and try to get on and run some more.
All right, good luck in the second half.
All right, thanks, Cheryl.
EJ, let's send it back to you, Kenny, Charles, and Magic.
All right, thank you, Cheryl. It is time for the T-Mobile halftime report from the TNT Arena, Studio J in Atlanta. Once a 50-46 halftime lead for the Cavs over the Lakers. Ernie Johnson, Kenny Jet Smith, the always entertaining Charles Barkley, the always insightful Hall of Famer.
What does that mean, Ernie?
You said you're entertaining.
You're entertaining.
I can't be insightful and entertaining?
I didn't say you couldn't be.
See, sometimes they always say, sometimes it's what you say, sometimes it's what you don't say.
I didn't say anything about Kenny. He's not complaining.
I'm not complaining.
50-46 in a game that features Kobe Bryant and LeBron.
I'll give you some insight.
Please, you always give us the pictures. You give us entertainment. You give us insight.
Right.
You give us pictures.
All right. You know, one of the things that we talked about this matchup, LeBron and Kobe, and I was kind of justly playing about, no, it's the Lakers versus Cavaliers. But then when you have matchups with guys who are this electrifying, there are things when they don't do it great or when they do it great that everyone knows. If you just listen to the sound of the arena, you know that this game is special.
Here's Bryant off the fake on Noble. And
Nothing happened there. But the sound in the arena is ready for something to explode. So all of a sudden you get this.
The clock, here comes King. Oh, LeBron.
Now you can explode because everybody's sitting on their hands waiting for this to happen. And that's what these two guys bring. They bring energy before the play happens, like Kobe did. An up fake got the whole arena to scream. But that will get everybody to scream.
LeBron with 17 to lead everybody in the first half. Magic, part owner and vice president of this Laker team, Phil Jackson calling this a sink or swim time for the Lakers. In what way is that, at this point in the season, is that true?
Well, it's true because of the fact that you one game over 500 and you have two big games. This game tonight is a big game for the Lakers, as well as you got Miami coming up on Monday. So it's important that the Lakers try to win this game to set the tone for what's going to happen on Monday. And so it's important, too, that the other players, just like Phil said, make sure that the role players become more active in the game, and Kobe has to make sure that happens.
He got some rest in the first half. How much does he sit in the second?
He doesn't sit at all because this is normally Kobe scores a lot of points and takes a lot of shots in the second half. But right now, Lamar Odom is playing good, so you have to keep him involved. If the Lakers are going to win the game, it's not basically going to be on Kobe. The other guys are going to be the guys who really going to help the Lakers win the game. And so Devin George, the Lamar Odoms, they're going to have to score more in the second half to win this game.
So entertain us,
That was
Charles.
insightful.
Well, I told you, Cleveland, you said the Lakers going to win the game. I said they're not. Cleveland's going to win the game. LeBron's going to have a triple-double or real close. But if I'm Cleveland, I don't understand that they did the same thing a couple of weeks ago when they played Houston. They let Tracy McGrady dominate the game. If they let Kobe Bryant dominate this second half, they're just stupid. Because Irvin said it right. You can't let Kobe Bryant beat you. He's got today. I'm making him pass the ball every single time. Hey, if Chris Mims beat me, Devin George, Smushy Parker, if those guys beat me, I shake their hand and say, y'all won. But if they let Kobe Bryant dominate the second half, that's just bad basketball.
Well, LeBron's going to need to get 10 rebounds in the second half if he wants that.
That was entertaining, Ernie.
No rebounds in the first half.
Ernie, you see, some people won't hit a man with glasses. I'm not one of them.
That would be entertaining.
I'll hit you right in your left eye.
Would that be entertaining?
Yes.
Let me know.
That
Here's
was
LeBron.
entertaining right there.
Yes. And so was that commercial. His Nike commercial was hot, too.
With the LeBrons?
Yes.
Get that Nike stock up, y'all.
Welcome to the T-Mobile Halftime Report. T-Mobile, official wireless services partner of the NBA.
So you wanna be a rap superstar and live large, big house, 5 cars, you're in charge, coming up in the world, don't trust nobody, gotta look over your shoulder constantly. To be a rap superstar and live large, a big house, 5 cars, you're in charge, coming up in the world, don't trust nobody, gotta look over your shoulder constantly.
And here's LeBron making his way back onto the court at Staples. A rare head-to-head between LeBron and Kobe because, as it turns out, in the previous meetings, Kobe has usually been hurt going in or has gotten injured during the course of the game. And as it turns out in the second quarter, Kobe hurt his hand and was not the same.
Well, each guy had a couple of spectacular plays, but overall very quiet first half for Kobe. But of course we know he's a second half and particularly a fourth quarter type player, so look for him to get much more aggressive. But you look at that, 11 points, no free throws for Kobe, and I think that's what stands out. LeBron been to the line 7 times already, 4 assists. He's gotten his teammates involved, particularly Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Cavaliers really making an emphasis on getting the ball inside tonight.
Let's take a look at tonight's Jeep game summary. Cleveland at 53% from the field. Phil Jackson cannot be pleased about that. Now, the Cavaliers are among the better offensive teams in the NBA, but they're coming off what took place last night with Portland shooting so well against the Lakers. Another difficult first half at the defensive end for the Lakers, who shoot 46%, 1 of 9 from downtown for LA. Kobe Bryant played 18 minutes in the first half, and as you mentioned, 5 of 12, 11 points, but after hurting the hand was not the same.
And for the Cavaliers, just 4 3-point attempts, and I think that is key, because without the threes, they're getting the ball inside. And for the Lakers, the struggles with Kobe on the floor, and that is very rare, but we saw that initial stretch in the second quarter where LA went 5 out of 6. Kobe got the 6-minute rest, came back, and was almost out of rhythm. And you have to hope, if you're a Laker fan, that eventually they can figure out how to get Kobe and his supporting cast playing well together at the same time.
And the Cavs end the first half with an 8-0 run for their biggest lead of the night. Let's check in with Cheryl Miller. Cheryl?
Well, Marvin, the coaching staff for the Lakers weren't very happy with the team's performance in the first half. They thought they gave up way too many points in the paint, whether it was to the Cavs' bigs or off of drives. Offensively, they said that we weren't very smooth. We need to get more guys involved. As for Kobe Bryant, he sprained his wrist, but obviously he's still out there, guys.
All right, thanks, Cheryl. Here's Pim. Starting the second half, brings the Lakers within 2. Damon Jones, Eric Snow in the backcourt. LeBron James, Drew Gooden, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas on the front line. Ilgauskas had an excellent second quarter, playing, though, with 3 fouls. They clear it out as Ilgauskas looks to put a move on Mim, and he does to the fadeaway.
It puts so much pressure on a defense, Marv, when you have a low post threat and you continue to go after it. And that's why Cleveland has controlled the game since the second quarter. 14 free throw attempts for Cleveland. And we talked about that 3-point free throw ratio, and this is really where it should be.
Foul on Snow. 18 points for Ilgauskas. The Lakers only 8-8 here at home. They're 10-9 on the road. Cavaliers in the midst of a 6-game road trip. Mim, offensive foul. It's a charge on Chris Mim.
Well, you mentioned the 8-8 record, Marvin. That's something the Lakers have to establish, as you see Mim slam into Ilgauskas. But you've got to control your home floor if you're going to be a good team in this league. That's what Cleveland has done. They're 14-5 at the Q, as you like to call it, Marv.
Absolutely.
But when you're 8-8 at home, I mean, that puts so much pressure on you to win road games, which is very difficult.
I used to call it the G. Dunderina. 1 on the shot clock. Ilgauskas. And it's deflected out of bounds. Last touched by Gooden of the Cavaliers.
Well, the other effect that going inside does for Cleveland is it makes them better defensively. Because look now, even though Ilgauskas missed that shot, Cleveland's set up in their defense. They can load up on Kobe. They can shrink the floor, as LeBron James told Cheryl at halftime, and make things difficult on Bryant.
Pass from Odom. Haley picked off. Bryant, shot clock down to 5. And a traveling violation called on Mim.
Now, this is absolutely the type of game that Mike Brown wants his team to play, and see the frustration on Phil Jackson's face. But Cavaliers still developing, I think, as a club, and what their identity has to be is a defensive team that makes stops and creates offense through their defense.
And Gooden posting up. Brown knocked it aside. The The grip. Gooden checking the shot clock and nowhere to go, but found Snow. Eric Snow able to bail out that possession.
There's that little 15-footer we talked about. Snow always seems to space the floor correctly and give his man an outlet.
Lakers very sloppy with the ball. 5 turnovers the last 5 minutes. Strong move by Kwame Brown, but he could not finish it.
That's the one where you look at Kwame and you think, how does he miss that? And I think he continues to rush down on the block. He still hasn't gotten comfortable as a player down on the post.
Oh, Parker stripping James. Here's Parker going at Snow. Smush Parker does it at both ends.
I like the fact that Parker doesn't automatically throw the ball to Kobe. A lot of players submit themselves to Kobe and just say, all right, you take it. Parker, a very aggressive offensive player. I think you have to be that way when you're playing with a superstar.
3 minutes gone by in the third. Ilgauskas to the reverse. And the Lakers have had no answers for Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
How about the pass from James right over the top, using that big frame to see over the defense.
Parker passed on the three, takes to the rim. Beautiful changeup by Smush Parker as Ilgauskas was looking for the block shot.
And a great example of using the three-point line, Marv. You don't have to shoot the three to be a threat from there. All you have to do is give a pump fake now and then. And that's a beautiful move by Parker.
Parker has 12 points. Gooden from James, yes! And the foul, and a beautiful pass thrown by LeBron James.
Beautiful pass is right. He just sees the floor so well, and it's like he's 10 feet above everybody else, especially when he jumps, and he just sees angles that nobody else does. See Lamar frustrated, and LeBron very happy with that one. That is assist number 6 for LeBron James. Interestingly enough, Marv, 0 rebounds for James. That's pretty rare for a guy who averages about 7 per game.
And sometimes out of the backcourt, that can be circumstantial, but as you say, he does average 7 per game. Nice move by Lamar Odom. Cavaliers now lead 59-54. Cavaliers at 20-12, second best record in the East. Only Detroit is better. Pistons losing earlier tonight. First of our doubleheader on TNT. They lost to San Antonio, so they dropped to 28-5. LeBron James able to drill it. Cavs now have a 7-point advantage.
They've taken control here, Marvin. We just haven't seen the Lakers play well together. Odom's had a terrific game, but Kobe's been quiet. I'm trying to remember the last time we saw them play well together.
Chris Mims. So Mims slams it down, and it cuts it to a 5-point Cavalier lead. Let me correct myself. Detroit beat San Antonio earlier, 83-68. So the Pistons at 28-5. Rasheed Wallace, 27 points, 10 rebounds. Pistons out-rebounded the Spurs 56-31. Here's James from way downtown with the shot clock running down, and the ball back to the Lakers.
Well, the degree of difficulty on some of LeBron's shots is I think, too high. I mean, he's so good and so athletic that he can make that shot without fading away from 23 feet. And I think that's something that he will continue to improve upon. Scary thing is he does make that shot sometimes, and I think that's why he falls in love with it occasionally.
And clear it out for Kwame Brown. Oh, Drew Gooden got a piece of it. Gooden just waited for Brown to make the move.
Well, he has played awfully well here tonight.
And then Kwame right back to break it up, but it's recovered by Ilgauskas. Snow setting it up, met on a switch by Brown. Snow goes right at him, finds the open man. Here's Gooden. Mim with the rebound.
Step in and take the 12-footer. You don't need the 20-footer.
6 minutes to play in this third quarter. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, and Cheryl Miller with Staples in Los Angeles. Here is Mim. Very nicely done. The jump hook from deep along the baseline.
Gotten a lot better with that particular move the last year or so, Marv, and I think he's starting to develop some confidence in this triangle offense.
Mim has 11. Oh, Kobe took a shot inadvertently from James. 11 points now for Mim. He's hit 3 of 3 here in the third. Gooden rebounded by Mim. There's Bryant, met by Snow, pulls it back. Good job by Snow, makes Bryant give it up. Odom for 3. Long rebound, handled by Brown. They have the new clock. Backing Ilgauskas. Ilgauskas got a piece of that.
Well, he held his position, and that turned a 10-foot shot into a 15-foot fadeaway, and Mim's not going to make that one.
Here's James using the pick. James. Back comes Parker. Looking for Kobe. Snow defending on Bryant. He has Gooden right behind him. Brown felt the contact, and that's 4 on Ilgauskas.
Tough call on the big fella. It looked like he might have had position, but Kwame Brown with a nice move to draw the foul.
Timeout taken with just under 4.5 remaining in the third, and the Cavaliers with a 61-58 lead. Nice setup, and Chris Mim puts it down. Thus far in this third quarter, Kobe Bryant without a field goal attempt once again against the Cavaliers. He is playing hurt. In fact, Kobe has been hurting here in L.A. the 2 times he's played against LeBron James and the Cavaliers. January 12th last season, suffered a sprained right shoulder, fouled by the Cavs' Kedrick Brown, missed 6 games. And then January 13th, he landed awkwardly after grabbing a rebound and suffered a sprained right ankle. He missed 14 games. And tonight, after the good start, suffered a sprained right wrist right here. We're told x-rays came back negative, but since he hurt the wrist, not been able to relocate that touch.
And he hasn't really been as aggressive as we normally see him, Marvin. I think that's going to change. I mean, Kobe's not going to be shy all night, but you look at that, 0 for 5 since the injury, and had a pretty quick start, 5 out of 7. But he's the kind of guy who's not going to stay back for long. I mean, he's going to attack. He's going to try to put his imprint on the game.
Kwame Brown a moment ago fouled by Zydrunas Ilgauskas, who collected his 4th. Danielle Marshall and Ira Newble have checked back in for the Cavaliers.
So with Ilgauskas on the bench, you'd have to think that Cleveland will go back to LeBron James to run their offense.
We're approaching 4 minutes to play in the third. It's a 1-point game. Cavaliers have the lead. Good job by Mim, switching off to James. Shot clock to 4. LeBron for 3. Yes.
See, that's a much better 3 than the last one where he faded away. Of course, he knew he had Mim on him. He had the advantage. But when you shoot as you step towards the rim, it's a much higher percentage shot.
And Steve, the Cavaliers have pulled it back in terms of shooting the 3. Bryant rebounded by Gooden. Last couple of games against Houston last week, 29 3-point attempts, only 7 of 29 against the Knicks the other night. They put up 28. It was 6 for 28 from beyond that 3-point line, and Mike Brown doesn't mind as long as they're good 3-point attempts, but that has not been the case.
They fell in love with that 3 against New York. Only got to the free throw line 20 times, so 28 3-pointers, 20 free throws. That's not a good ratio.
Last touch by Newble of the Cavaliers.
I mean, you can see the effect it has on Cleveland when they fall in love with that 3. That's when their free throws go down. And you can see 7 fewer free throws in their losses, and I think that's what they've done a nice job of tonight. Going into Ilgauskas, establishing the paint. That's why they have 15 free throw attempts and 36 points in the paint.
Luke Walton has come on for Kwame Brown. Lakers played well with Luke on the floor earlier. Here's Odom, will not count. It's waved off. And it's Salvatore, the outside official, calling offensive foul on Odom. He's called for the push-out. That's 4 on Lamar Odom.
An incredulous Phil Jackson, because he had terrific position and a great feed from a teammate. Didn't look like much of a foul.
Second team foul committed by the Lakers. Here's James weaving his way. Marshall played tightly by Walton, shooting it anyway. A bad shot.
Yeah, 8 seconds on the shot clock. He didn't have to force that one up.
Odom spins. Gets it out to Walton.
I don't think he dribbled while he spun either, did he? A little pirouette in there.
Bryant moving left on Snow. Had to give it up. Here's Walton. Rebounded by Newble.
Boy, we've got to give Eric Snow a lot of credit here tonight. He is battling Kobe Bryant every possession.
That was intended for Marshall, who was not cutting for the rim. And Mike Brown is very upset as a timeout is taken with 2:26 left in this third quarter.
Well, LeBron knows he has the mismatch with Chris Mihm on him. He rocks him back on his heels and knocks down the three.
Welcome back to the Staples Center. Joining me right now is Mark Stevens, and I have Ron Artest. Mark is obviously Ron's agent, and my first question obviously is I reported that earlier that he came very close to being a Clipper. How true was that report? How close did he come to becoming a Clipper?
Well, the opportunity was flirted with momentarily, but nothing concrete happened out the situation.
Now, I was also told that there's something in the works with the Lakers being in Los Angeles. Is there a chance that he might end up being a Laker?
I mean, there's always a chance, but we haven't heard anything direct from Donnie Walsh, so until that time, we won't even entertain it at the moment.
Now, Mark, this has been such a long process for the both of you. How hopeful are you that this might be resolved in the next couple of weeks?
Well, you know, we was hopeful that the trade would happen in 10 days. However, it was a tedious process, and I understand Donnie Walsh is doing a great job of trying to get the best what's for his team, and Ron, he's just anxious, ready to play basketball as soon as possible.
Ron, I know the last couple of years have been kind of difficult on you, but how have you maintained trying to just stay positive throughout this whole process?
You know, just working out, having fun. I've been home with my family. Shout out to my wife, love you. Shout out to Naptown, shout out to Queensbridge, was popping. But, you know, I'm here enjoying myself, you know, watching, you know, two great teams, two great players. I'm just, you know, kind of enjoying myself and still staying in shape, you know. And I'm still happy to be in the NBA.
Thanks a lot, Ron. Thanks a lot, Mark. Let's send it back to you, Mark.
All right, sure. I'd like to shout out to you, Steve. You know, you talk to NBA coaches about Ron Artest, and they all say they'd love him. You talk to general managers, we've discussed this before, they're not so sure, because the general manager could lose his job because at any time, Ron Artest can implode. And you give up a player or two, and you're taking a major risk as Bryant puts the move on Snow, who's called for the foul. There's a big upside because if Ron just plays basketball and nothing happens, no question, he's all-star quality 2 years ago, made the all-star team for the first time, but the other possibility, he could walk away or things don't work out, and you have lost, in terms of a transaction to get him, you've lost a quality player to take the entire franchise down.
Well, that's why I think that you're going to see the top teams not even in the race. They're not going to even think about bringing on LeBron James. It's going to be clubs that are sort of on the fence. Can they make the playoffs? Do they need that one guy to put them over the top? That's why Golden State, talking about Ron Artest, not LeBron, but Golden State, Denver, the Clippers, teams that are around 500, maybe a few games above 500, who think that maybe they can take that next step, and they're the ones who might be willing to take that risk. But man, there is a serious risk, no question about that.
Down to a minute remaining in the third. Marshall is fouled. It's on Walton. Danielle Marshall fouled in the act. Will go to the line. It's been a quiet game thus far for Danielle Marshall. Reminder, national coverage of the NBA continues this week, Friday on ESPN2. It's the Celtics and the 76ers coverage starting 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also Friday on ESPN, it's the Heat and the Sonics. And then Saturday on NBA TV, the Indiana Pacers and the Chicago Bulls coverage starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And the Cavaliers sending on Anderson Varejao, making his season debut, coming back from shoulder surgery. An important player. When you talk to Mike Brown, he always loves to discuss the energy that he brings to the ball. Club foul is called on Nubel. Varejao out of Brazil, a member of the Brazilian national team, and last season a strong, hustling, and rebounding presence.
Remember Paul Silas last year when he was coaching this club referred to him as a poor man's Dennis Rodman, and when you watch him play, you see why. He just scrambles after every loose ball, every rebound. He just creates things when he's on the floor, and that's, I think, exactly what Cleveland needs right now. I mean, this is a team that is trying to establish a defensive identity and turn defense into offense. He's a guy who can get them jump started.
And as Kobe Bryant shoots his second free throw, hearing the chance of MVP, although it has not been to this point an MVP night for Kobe. Not the same. After spraining his wrist, they double up on James, and he's forced to the sideline, and he stepped out of bounds.
He dribbled himself right into trouble. That's the one spot on the floor you just cannot pick up your dribble. Just over half court in the corner. There's just nowhere to go. Too easy to trap a ball handler right there.
Excellent defensive play on the trap by the Lakers, who trailed by one with a half minute left in this third quarter. Odom with a nice pass. Chris Mims giving the Lakers a 1-point lead.
Lamar Odom has had a terrific night, Mark, slowly creeping in on a triple-double. 12 points, 9 assists, and 6 boards for Odom.
2-second differential between the game clock and shot clock. This is Wilkes. Parker fell down. Shot clock to 5. Here's Wilkes on the move. Wilkes rejected by Mims. Final seconds. Here's Bryant. And that's the end of the third. The Lakers lead by 1. They end the quarter on a 14-6 run.
Now, Lamar Odom has been the best player on the floor for the Lakers tonight. The beautiful screen and roll feed to Chris Mims.
To the fourth quarter here at Staples in LA. A program reminder, add a little sunshine to the long cold winter. Check out Steve Wonders every Thursday and Friday with TNT Overtime on NBA.com. Well, Kobe Bryant, after going scoreless for 15 minutes, 6 points the last 2.5 minutes, and the Lakers have come from behind to take a 1-point lead.
Well, we'll see how much of a rest he gets here. Remember, he got 6 minutes at the beginning of the second quarter, and the Lakers played quite well. They need a similar effort from their reserve unit now.
Marshall coming up short, but the good hustle rebound handled by Nubel. Here is Jackson for 3. Luke Jackson, second-year man out of Oregon, played only 10 games last season as a rookie because of back and knee problems. Able to knock down a 3-pointer. Cavaliers recapture the lead. They're up by 2. Ilgauskas back on the floor. He's playing with 4, guarding Kwame Brown, who just made his return. Odom lost it. And last touch by the Cavs.
What a big shot by Jackson. The Laker coaching staff was yelling at the officials because they didn't think the shot clock should have been reset. Jackson made the point moot anyway, just knocks it down.
Shot clock to 1. Odom came up short. 24-second violation.
Well, we'll see if Cleveland goes back into Ilgauskas with James on the bench now. Remember, the Cavaliers really established themselves early by going into the big fella. But when he got in foul trouble in the third quarter, it affected their game. They only got 2 free throw attempts in that third quarter. They need to reestablish that post game.
Wilkes and Jackson at the guards with Marshall, Ilgauskas, and Newble up front, and a defensive 3-second violation called on the Lakers. So the Cavs will shoot a technical.
See, I think this is something they can do more of with Donyell Marshall. Marv, they've used him almost exclusively as a perimeter 4-man, a guy who's going to shoot a lot of three-pointers. But he's 6'9", 6'10", long arms. He's got an advantage over Luke Walton with his length. They're going to try to post him up now instead of Ilgauskas and try to establish that post game.
Ilgauskas 7 of 8 up the line. He has 21 points. This will be a brief rest for LeBron James. Kobe Bryant also sitting it out. Here's Marshall for 3. He's trying to draw a foul. Odom able to sweep it.
And just when I say he should go back inside, he hoists one up from 25 feet.
Here's Kwame Brown. Yes, and again, took that nice feed from Luke Walton.
That's the shot that he has to make. We're going to see a foul here on Vujacic, who's done a nice job, not only this game, but all season in trying to get up in the backcourt and pressure. But Kwame Brown, Marv, has to get more and more comfortable down on the block if he's ever going to be a consistent player.
Brown wanted a foul on Wilkes for a push-off on Vujacic. Once again, Vujacic trying to draw a foul. He's taking a beating on this possession. Ilgauskas feeling for Brown. It's a 3-second violation.
And this is where I think Brown has had a positive effect on this Laker team. His interior defense with his size and speed has been a factor all season. He still has not gained that consistency at the offensive end, but he's a much-needed active body down on that block for Phil Jackson.
Kwame 8 points, 8 rebounds. Came to the Lakers in the deal for Caron Butler, Chucky Atkins, Evan George. Aaron Newble would not allow the move to the left. Vujacic for 3. Good play by Odom. Takes to the rim. Yes! And the foul! Odom out-battling Donyell Marshall. Marshall called for the foul.
Marv, one of the things Mike Brown was worried about coming into tonight's game was offensive rebounding. This is a Laker team that's long and active on the front line, and with Cleveland having to worry about penetration, particularly from Kobe Bryant, he knew they were going to be in scrambling situations, and Odom takes advantage on the boards. Look at this, very close to that triple-double. Last one he had, Sacramento, March 26 of 04, and he is on pace to get one here tonight.
Outstanding all-around performance for Lamar Odom. Completes a three-point play, and the Lakers lead 73-71. They double up on Jackson and took it away. Here comes Vujacic. George to the pull-up. Yes. Devin George. Lakers lead 75-71, and Mike Brown wants to talk it over.
Critical error by Luke Jackson. He had just made the 3, but he turns it over at one end, and that leads to this, the easy 15-footer for Devin George. Welcome back to Staples Center. Now it's time for Wendy's Making the Right Choice. Now, Kobe Bryant has been relatively ineffective in this game. We saw him hurt his wrist early in the game. Fortunately for Phil Jackson, the reserve core has come up big. Smush Parker with the lay, and then the beautiful split and feed to Chris Mim. And Lamar Odom, who's had a terrific evening, the offensive board and the putback. And the Lakers have had a couple of good, solid stretches, Marv, with Kobe Bryant on the bench, thanks to mainly these 3 guys, Odom, Mim, Parker. Look at that field goal percentage. So finally, Lakers getting some rhythm and groove to their offense without that man.
One of those nights at least to this point, where the Lakers have actually been more effective with Kobe not on the floor.
That's a welcome sign to Phil Jackson. That's exactly what this team needs.
But Kobe bothered by that sprained right wrist. He got off to the good start. Here's Daniel Marshall. Ilgauskas able to reach for it. It counts, and the foul. Zydrunas Ilgauskas with the rebound and the putback, and he'll head back to the line.
Well, we talked about the Lakers' offensive rebounding. Cleveland, an excellent team on the glass in its own right. Zydrunas Ilgauskas averaging almost 4 offensive rebounds per game. That's 5th in the NBA, and that's a big one there, Marv. His team needed that.
Kwame Brown called for the foul. His 3rd. LeBron James is back on the floor after a brief rest. Another rebound for Lamar Odom. He has 15 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Here's Vujacic for 3.
We talked about it earlier. Vujacic has not shot the ball well this year, about 34% coming into this game, but the last few weeks we've seen him begin to grow some confidence. He's not hesitating anymore on that shot.
Jackson hit a 3 earlier. Ilgauskas, yes. Zydrunas Ilgauskas showing the entire repertoire. He's done it from the low post, he's done it from the high post, and he's done it with that angle jumper.
25 points and 9 free throw attempts for Ilgauskas too. And how about the play of Luke Jackson? He's come in here and made a couple of nice plays.
Kevin George hitting his 2nd straight. So the Lakers open up a 5-point lead. 4 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. Marv Albert with Steve Kerr and Cheryl Miller were at Staples in Los Angeles. 2nd of our TNT doubleheader earlier tonight. The Pistons beat the Spurs. Here's LeBron James from downtown, effortless, and shows us the follow-through.
Yeah, he has just improved dramatically with that jump shot. And you said it, Marv, effortless is right.
Walton is fouled. Luke Walton finding the opening, able to penetrate, and he'll shoot 2.
Take a look at LeBron James. One of the reasons he's such a complete player is his understanding of the game, his ability to move without the ball. He's not a guy who has to dominate the ball. He's very comfortable coming off a screen, and that's a shot he probably would not have made a couple of years ago. You see the balance. He's scored 25 total, and I'm sure more to come in this quarter.
That foul was called on Ilgauskas, so he takes a seat, picking up number 5. Walton will shoot 2.
Interesting, Marv. We just showed Kobe on the bench. He's now had a rest for about 4.5 minutes. And Phil Jackson, I think, more than any coach in the league, is not afraid to leave his superstar on the bench. He used to do this in Chicago frequently. Remember the series they won against Portland? Game 6 against the Blazers in Chicago. Michael Jordan was on the bench for a huge stretch of the 4th quarter, and guys like Stacey King came in and led the charge.
A near steal, and that is an 8-second violation. Backcourt violation. Gives the ball back to the Lakers.
Now the defensive pressure has bothered Mike Brown's team here in the 4th quarter. We saw LeBron James and Luke Jackson get the ball taken away from them, crossing half court on the trap. Now LeBron James loses it.
'78 Lakers. Odom. Got to give it up. George. Odom for 3. Rebounded by Kwame Brown, and they have the new clock. Now Phil Jackson wanted a timeout.
Well, we'll see. Does he come back with Kobe? You know he's dying to get back in the game, but Lakers playing awfully well without him right now.
Well, Kobe played 44 minutes last night in Portland, but usually you would see him on the floor at this point. We'll be right back. Coming up next here on TNT. Stick around tonight for Inside the NBA. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Magic back in our studio. And Jim Huber will tell the story of international basketball pioneer Drazen Petrovic and his legacy. Drazen, one-time Blazer, one-time Net, and a very tough player.
Oh, he was really something. I think, Marv, he was kind of the first European player to really make a big impact, and I think gave a lot of other European players the confidence that they could come over here and succeed.
Well, Kobe Bryant just checked back into the game, and his pass drifted out of bounds. So he turns it over, and the ball goes back to the Cavaliers. Lakers lead by 3, just under 7 remaining in the fourth. Here's Marshall. Rebounded by Jackson. Good hustle, but his pass broken up. And back come the Lakers. Bryant putting moves on Snow and is fouled. Hit on a reach-in.
Smart play by Snow. He knew he was beaten, so he's going to make Kobe earn those free throws. And just a moment of misfortune for Luke Jackson, who makes the terrific hustle play and tried to do the right thing, throw the ball back to a teammate, but it ended up in a fast break situation for LA.
So the Lakers now lead by 4. And final note on the late Drazen Petrovic. What do you know? Steve Kerr on top, all-time leader in terms of three-point shooting, but Hubert Davis second, and then Drazen just under 44% from downtown.
Hubert and I were pretty much spot-up shooters. Drazen could do it all. He could come off screens and get to the rim. He was so strong and tough. He could just run all day long. Reminded me of a stronger Rip Hamilton.
And on the subject of strength, Eric Snow, powerfully built, and has played well at both ends, able to drive the lane to bring the Cavs within 3.
That drives a coaching staff crazy. I mean, you've got to plug the lane. Somebody's got to step in there. Eric Snow cannot get all the way to the rim.
Odom with the step back. What a sensational all-around night it has been for Lamar Odom. 8 of 12, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Lakers lead by 5. James is fouled. He's hit on a reach-in.
Oh, what a night for Odom. And you see him play like this, and you realize he could play any position on the floor. I mean, you could put him at point guard, which Phil Jackson basically has, kind of a Scottie Pippen point forward role on this team. Or you can put him at center if he's big enough to guard those guys.
Here's Jackson for 3. Luke Jackson with his second 3 of the night, both here in the fourth quarter. 85-83. The Laker lead is down to 2. That's a traveling violation on Bryant.
Well, the tough night for Kobe continues. A little hop, skip, and a jump in the lane, and yeah, that's absolutely a travel. It's something that a lot of guys tend to get away with, but Kobe picking up his 5th turnover. Good call by Bennett Salvatore.
Bryant digging in the face of James. Lost him off the pick. LeBron James running out. Rebounded by Lamar Odom, and a foul. It's on the Cavaliers. It's their 4th team foul. Foul on Gooden. That's his first. So Cavaliers with 14 fouls. Lakers have 3. As we wind down, coming up on 5 minutes to play. And the fourth quarter has been a good one here at Staples. Lakers lead at 85-83. Bryant to the step back.
See, they've lost some rhythm here, Marvin. They had a nice groove going without Kobe, and it's almost like they're standing around and watching him play again. They've got to find a way to get both involved.
Here's Jackson again from downtown. Luke Jackson with his 3rd three-pointer. Cavaliers lead 86-85. Kobe Bryant only 6 of 16 from the field.
Biggest night of Luke Jackson's career, Marvin. This has to feel great for that young man.
George looking for the 3. Vujacic. Good play by Snow to knock it aside. And the Lakers will have 2 on the shot clock.
This is the 3rd three-pointer for Luke Jackson, and this is why Cleveland drafted him a year ago. The ability to stretch the floor, and you've got to have that when you've got LeBron James on your team.
2 on the shot clock. Here's Bryant. hit the front rim with James all over him, and they get a new shot clock.
He almost made that. That was dead on line.
Down to 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And the foul is called on the Cavaliers. It's on James. So Cleveland is now over the foul limit. Zydrunas Ilgauskas checking back in. He'll play with 5 fouls and replaces Daniel Marshall. These are shooting. It's a shooting foul with Bryant to the line. With Cavaliers over the foul limit. Kobe 6 of 6 at the line. Lakers 15 of 16 at the free throw line.
And for Cleveland, just 4 free throw attempts in the second half. They did such a nice job in the first half of getting the ball inside. And I think down the stretch here in the last 4 minutes, got to go back to Ilgauskas down on the block, continue to put pressure on that Laker defense.
The Lakers have taken a 1-point lead. Lakers applying some pressure on the inbounds. So James will handle. James guarded by Bryant. Just under 4 left in the fourth. Here's LeBron. Banks it and scores.
Wow. That's impressive. The body control, the feathery touch off the glass.
27 for LeBron James. Cavaliers have a 1-point lead at the other end. And James defending on Bryant. And here's Kobe to the reverse. A gorgeous move, but had too much on it. James at the other end, going glass and tipped home by Gooden.
And that's the problem when you get LeBron James going to the rim. You've got to help. Lakers do a nice job in transition, sending help his way, but that leaves Drew Gooden wide open for the offensive putback.
So Drew Gooden, 13 points, 10 rebounds. Cavaliers lead by 3. Now look at the head-to-head matchup. LeBron James, 11 of 21, 27 points. Another strong game for LeBron, while Kobe started out at 5 for 7 from the field, then suffered a sprained right wrist, and since the injury, just 1 of 11 shooting. 21 points. In fact, his last 8 points have come at the foul line.
And I think he's also affected by the fact that he has to guard LeBron at the other end. He played 44 minutes in Portland last night. Maybe he's a little tired. And at this end, Eric Snow has had the job most of the night covering Kobe.
Odom able to bank it home to bring the Lakers within 1 with 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. You see LeBron James protecting the dribble against Kobe Bryant. And then lost it. Good play by Bryant. Odom spinning his way. Odom for Bryant to George for 3. Yes! Kobe Bryant. Deflection set that up, and the Lakers lead by 2.
Well, he didn't look tired on that possession. He hounded LeBron up and down the floor and forced that turnover.
Reach-in foul on Bryant. They had a foul to give, so it's a non-shooting affair.
Cleveland has run this play 4 or 5 times tonight. A double high screen for LeBron, trying to get the ball back to Ilgauskas. Kobe forces that deflection.
Snow using the pick. Shot clock down to 6. Ilgauskas, that's deeper than usual for Zydrunas. Ilgauskas, he's had the touch. 10 of 14, 27 points, and we're tied at 92.
Boy, what a game. What a game. And both teams, Marv, need this desperately. We talked about Cleveland. This is the first game of a 6-game road trip. 8 of their next 9 on the road.
Shot clock to 5. Bryant with a beautiful pass. Odom is fouled. Somehow, Kobe Bryant found Lamar Odom down low. The foul committed by Drew Gooden, and Odom will go to the line.
Well, the Cavaliers had loaded up on Kobe and kind of zoned up the strong side. Odom sneaks underneath, and Kobe with a beautiful feed. Odom going to go to the foul line to try to add to his 19-point total.
Lamar only a 69% free throw shooter, 1 for 1 at the line this evening. We're down to 1 minute and 53 remaining in the fourth quarter.
pulled the string. And that's the sign of a free throw shooter who doesn't have a lot of confidence in that stroke. That's when you see that short shot that hits that front iron.
Evan George hearing it from the crowd. 3 of 3 for 7 points in this fourth quarter for Devin George. Odom hits 1 of 2. The Lakers lead by 1.
And Phil Jackson gets Chris Mim back in the lineup to cover Ilgauskas, obviously very concerned with the post threat that he poses down there for Cleveland.
Snow is fouled. You can see the Laker bench rise, arguing the call. Call made by Sean Corbin along the baseline. Foul on Smush Parker, and the Lakers are over the limit.
Parker's got long arms. He's very active and athletic. He can reach in there as he does, and that's a tough call for Los Angeles. Parker does not like it.
Eric Snow, a 75% free throw shooter. At the line for the first time tonight. Solid game for Snow. 8 points, 4 assists, tough defense. Cavaliers at 20-12, second best record in the East, right behind the Pistons. They've had winning streaks of 8, 6. Since that 6-game win streak, they've split their last 6. But the 3 wins in those 6 games have come over Detroit and 2 over Milwaukee, while the Lakers at 18-17, and they come off a poor performance in a loss at Portland last night. So Snow ties the game. Minute 35 remaining in the fourth.
And with the game on the line, Marv, you see LeBron James covering Kobe.
And Bryant able to hit over James using the screen. So the Lakers now lead 95-93. The ball in the hands of James. He's double teamed. Ilgauskas with 5 on the shot clock. Zydrunas Ilgauskas with the drive to tie it at 95. And that ties a season high. He has 29.
Well, he established himself down low early. And once you do that, once you see that ball go through the hoop on those easy ones, a lot easier to knock down some perimeter shots and put in some runners, too.
Shot clock down to 7. Bryant. Yes. So Kobe Bryant, quiet for most of the second half, hits a clutch jumper to give the Lakers a 2-point lead. They're on their feet here at Staples. Gooden battling and scores. What a move by Gooden going at Brown, and the game is tied.
Just trying to draw a foul. I think he wanted 2 free throws, somehow got it to go, but now it's Kobe time. This is why he's so special, Marv. A tough evening all night, but he can still get it going when it counts.
6-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Bryant putting moves on James. Here's Bryant. Yes! He had a foot on the line. It's a 2-point shot. Cavaliers call for time with 8 6/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The Lakers 99, the Cavaliers 97, and Steve Kobe Bryant has hit his last 3 shots.
The ultimate confidence, Marv. Only Kobe Bryant, I think, in this game, in this league, has the ability to overcome a tough night and hit 3 huge clutch jumpers down the stretch.
8 6/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Kobe Bryant goes 1 for 11, obviously bothered by the injured wrist, and then down the stretch hits 3 in a row.
Intestinal fortitude, mental toughness, you can call it whatever you want, but it's just ultimate confidence. And I don't know if anybody has the belief in himself in the NBA since Michael Jordan like Kobe Bryant does. And now if you're Cleveland, got to get the ball to LeBron, don't you? Both teams in the penalty. I would think, get the ball to James, get something going towards the rim, but Kobe Bryant will be guarding him, and he relishes this defensive challenge. You know that.
Kobe hitting all 3 shots the last minute and a half, and each bucket broke a tie to give the Lakers the lead. They now lead at 99-97.
And Cleveland with shooters all over the floor. Marv Damon Jones is back in. Luke Jackson, Daniel Marshall. Ilgauskas goes to the bench. So undoubtedly, Cleveland will spread the floor for LeBron and try to either get something going towards the hoop or have him find a shooter. Cavaliers have a full timeout and a 20 remaining. Damon Jones off the inbounds. Here's James. James twisting his way, and he drew the foul with 5 2/10 seconds to go. LeBron James off the double team, fouled by Bryant. That's 4 on Bryant. I love the call, Marv. Rather than have James go at Kobe from the perimeter, use that strength. Put him in the block where he has an advantage over Bryant, and that forces the help coming from Odom. And now LeBron with 2 huge free throws.
Only 3 of 7 at the line, a 76% free throw shooter, and he brings the Cavaliers within 1. Now the Lakers also have a full timeout and a 20 remaining, and Phil Jackson doing some shuffling. Chris Mims, Kwame Brown checking in. They want the big men on the line. If James should miss this free throw, Lakers want that rebound.
And if you're Mike Brown, you've got to get Ilgauskas back in the ball game, as he does here. Phil Jackson in this situation has been known to eschew the timeouts. Well, I know how much you like the word eschew, but he'll frequently let his players take control of the game and neglect to call the timeout, let Kobe go. But I think in this case you got to call it.
5 2/10 seconds left. And James missed the second. Rebounded by Gooden, and the Cavaliers take a timeout. 4 2/10 seconds to go. And it comes down to the Cavaliers having a chance now to win it. They're down by 1. They certainly would have preferred LeBron James tying the game on that with that free throw, but now they have a chance to pull it out.
How about the play of Drew Gooden? He's been terrific the last couple of weeks. 11 boards, one of the best offensive rebounders in the game, and a tough break for the Lakers. A long rebound off that missed free throw. Gooden uses his quickness to chase it down. Your Cleveland now go right back to LeBron, don't you?
And Gooden has had quite a run recently. 17 rebounds the other night against Milwaukee. Solid game here tonight. It has not only been LeBron James. It's been a combination of Zydrunas Ilgauskas, tied a season high with 29. Eric Snow doing it at both ends, and Drew Gooden.
How about Luke Jackson, too? 3 big three-pointers, really making his mark in a big game for the first time as an NBA player. You've got to figure he'll be back out onto the floor. And wouldn't shock me to see Cleveland go right back to James in the post. 4.2 seconds is plenty of time for him to make a move, and with the Lakers having to help down there defensively, that could free up a perimeter shooter for Cleveland.
LeBron with 28 points. Kobe with 27. He's hit 3 of 3 the last minute and a half. And Lamar Odom, 20 points, 9 of 13 from the field, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. So 1 assist shy of a triple-double.
Of course, Cleveland now with 1 22nd timeout left. So if they can't get the ball inbounds, they can still call one and draw something else up. But we'll see what Mike Brown comes up with here.
Luke Jackson, Daniel Marshall, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, LeBron James, and Eric Snow on the floor for the Cavaliers. Snow will throw it in, and Phil Jackson going with Devin George defending on the inbounds. Looking to cause trouble for Snow, who gets it in. Here's James putting the move on Bryant to the fadeaway. Not able to hit at the buzzer. The Lakers come away with a 1-point victory. The Lakers 99 and the Cavaliers 98. So the Lakers go to 19-17. The Cavaliers drop to 20-13.
Well, Marvin, the last couple of minutes, I think we saw what separates Kobe from LeBron at this point, at least in James's career. Kobe very comfortable taking over late, making shots. LeBron misses a free throw, misses a fadeaway at the buzzer. He's not quite to the point yet, I don't think, in his career where he can make that play.
And Kobe able to turn it after that 1 of 11 spree, obviously affected by hurting his wrist, and then comes back strong down the stretch, hitting all 3 of his shots. Let's go to Cheryl with Kobe.
Kobe, I understand that you had your right wrist x-rayed at halftime. How much was that bothering you in the second half?
Well, it was pretty sore. And my teammates, we talked about it. They knew they just kind of had to pick up the slack for me, and just kind of stay in cruise control until we needed me to, explode at the end.
LeBron gave you probably the biggest compliment that I've heard anyone talk about you, saying that you have a killer instinct. He's never played or faced anyone quite like you. Talk about the big shots down the stretch.
Well, that's what I live for. That's why, when you're a kid dreaming playing basketball in the backyard, you always do the countdowns, and these are the type of moments that I live for.
In the last 5 games, obviously you scored 40-plus points. This must have seemed like a day off for you. You got a little rest tonight.
But it feels good, though. I think it was very important for us to come out and get significant contributions elsewhere. There's been a lot of talk about me being a one-man show and all that, and this is not the case. Certain nights I have to take over, but more so than not, we won games. I scored 41 games when I scored 10. The important part is for us to play defense and see if we can surprise some people.
Obviously, it was a disappointing loss last night at Portland. Good win tonight. Looking forward to Monday's game.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
All right, thanks a lot, Kobe. Let's send it back to you, Mark. Steve?
All right, Cheryl, and we'll have Monday's game right here on TNT. It's the rematch between Shaquille O'Neal and his Miami Heat and Kobe Bryant and the LA Lakers. A dramatic turnaround by Kobe down the stretch. A stirring ball game as the Lakers pull it out 99-98 over the Cavaliers. Thanks to our producer, Scooter Vertino, director Renato Lowe, our statistician, Paul Evans. Stay tuned for Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai. For Steve Kerr, Cheryl Miller, and our entire crew, I'm Marv Albert saying good night from Los Angeles, California. We now take you to our studios back in Atlanta. Here's Ernie Johnson.